video, we hired a professional video firm, and we in part of our studies, we looked at great cities on rivers around the world, not just around the U.S., but around the world. And the video is going to kind of start with those cities that have rivers, that have people, places, that have icons that are recognizable. Things like the Eiffel Tower in Paris, or London, other great cities. And this will be an AIA Jacksonville vision. This video is not for free, and it's kind of our gift to the community. And we'll do, once we get the video finished, which will be about, they say a month. I'm thinking mid to late summer. The video is, because it's well along. We have the narrative, and we have they're in the process of generating the graphics to go through this. Then we'll do a rollout plan. I think the first step of that rollout plan yet to be determined, but it certainly should be the chapter. Then probably Lori Boyer and DIA and maybe the mayor. I don't know. We'll have to work on that, but there's a rollout plan. I failed to mention that about a year and a half ago, we added Susan Masuki from Ruckus because we didn't know how to promote this, and she helped us guide that through a good deal. And in addition to the video, which is kind of gives you an overview, we'll need a PowerPoint, which I'm guessing would be 15 minutes. So that completes kind of a dog and pony show that we'll take around to anybody who will listen to us on this. So that's kind of where this downtown visioning initiative came from. It's been ongoing well, I've been involved in it for 8 years, but the visioning team's been working on it, and a lot of hard work, a lot of thought and hard work for 5 years.
Okay, thanks, Dave. And I think we are still raising funds for that video. I'm not sure how we're gonna include like a Kickstarter campaign. We're almost there. We have most of the funds, but we are still raising some funds just to make people aware.
Yeah, if anyone in the chapter, I mean, it's a chapter, it'll belong to the chapter. So anybody in the chapter wants to help contribute to it, I mean, we're getting a pretty good deal from from Crop, who's doing the video.
Okay. So Andrea, I think that's it for my presentation. All right, what's the next slide? Is it questions, comments? Okay, so I know there's a lot of EDP members on the line. Andres, are you there? Do you have any updates?
Hi, Brandon.
Hi,
everybody. Yeah, so I'm here on the line. We really don't have any updates. I suppose we haven't been meeting as regularly since, everything that has been happening, but we made a point to show up today just because we wanted to hear what's going on at the larger chapter, and we are kind of hoping that we can probably kind of pick up a few events before the end of the year and see what we can do to keep the the chapter active.
Okay. So does anyone have any comments, or does anyone want to speak about a specific program, the design awards or the golf tournament, etc.?
Brandon, can you say how much money we're trying to raise for the video and how you could contribute to it if you chose to?
I'll defer to David for the exact numbers. In terms of contributing, I believe we'll set up a Kickstarter campaign, or we have information that could be provided to you to send a check to the media company as well. But Dave, I'll let you field the question of how much we're short.
Yeah, right now we're $6,000 short. But some of the visioning team has not stepped to the plate yet. So.
Okay.
So I have a question, it's Micheline. Is there a way maybe that we can generate it as a fundraiser on Facebook, putting it out as public, saying, you know, we're aiming to raise 6,000 for this particular project or whatever, you know? And it could be supported by our local people.
That idea came up, but in order to make that connection, you almost have to explain the video. I mean, you have to explain the vision, what it is, and you need the video to do that. I personally think it's really up to the chapter and the team to support this. I mean, it's something that you know, I'm very committed to and very engaged with, and I'm hoping that others that have been involved in it on the team.
What about, I see a message from Marjorie. She's, and that's a good idea. Is there a grant through AIA Florida that we can maybe apply for?
I don't know. Right now, money's tight everywhere in terms of grants.
But is this something worth checking out?
Yeah, I don't know who would do that. I'm not expert on getting
Shonda? Maybe Shonda?
So the way the grants work through AIA Florida, I believe this would have had to been like, we've started it before, because they require you to get a certain amount of bids and so forth before like applying for the grant. So I don't know if this went through a bid process or we just selected one person. And they have specific grants for specific things. I don't know how this one would fall into it. We could see, but the grant funds for 2020 are already allocated the prior year. So we would be applying for 2021 grant funds, which I like Dave said, I don't even know what the grant funds are going to look like for next year because of how things have been.
Right.
One other complication is that the AIA chapter is not a nonprofit. So any money you give is not deductible, which kind of discourages people from making contributions. I mean, it didn't discourage a few of us, but I mean, the total cost of the video is $15,000, and that's a break from their estimated 21,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we've raised all but 6,000 of the 15,000. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Good job, Brandon. Thanks for getting us together. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't have anything else on the agenda. If nobody has any questions, if anyone just wants to talk about life, feel free. I can teach some yoga. No.
Brandon, I think it's worth talking about what we were thinking about doing with some of these town halls and these lunchtime meetings, and maybe at other times, because we do want to keep the chapter active, and we know that that's a challenge in the current situation, but we're thinking about starting to open up CEUs, featuring CEUs by allied members and things like this, so that I know we're not all able to get our lunch and learns like we used to. So starting to facilitate CEUs from allied members during Zoom meetings like this or similar.
That's right.
That we're the board's looking at, and hopefully we're definitely going to do a few of those, and hopefully they'll be well received as a way of keeping everyone's education requirements met and engagement up, and also keeping our allied members engaged as well.
And if anyone has specific ideas that they want to learn about, reach out to me or Shonda or the rest of the board. Maybe there are some talks about design in the aftermath of COVID. We can look into getting presenters here, or even just local code review type of presentations. So yeah, just reach out to us if there's any specific topics you'd like to have us cover. How do people feel about the noon time frame as opposed to like a 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. time?
I like it.
Okay, done.
Is any action on upcoming code changes with 2020? Has anybody talked about anything like that?
I'm not an expert or aware of what those would be, but we can get a speaker who would be. There's actually an AIA web. If you go to the email, the e-blast from AIA, let me share my screen again, see if I can pull that up. There is a code review thing coming up. Okay. All right, so are you seeing the email?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do a new share. Okay, so if you scroll down, so here's an event. So here's the Changes Architecture Practice Act. So I'm not sure if this is exactly that code that you were referring to, Tyler, but here is a
No, I was just looking at Florida building code changes. Looks like there's one below that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's talking about 8th edition.
Yep, so that's July 30th. I'll make sure not to schedule anything for that.
So do we have any allied members on the call? Okay.
I believe we do.
So I'm wondering are we reaching out already to our allied members with regard to virtual CEUs, Andrea? Is that what I understand?
I'm not sure that we've already begun reach out on those. I know we talked about it. Maybe Shonda knows.
Yes, we've already begun reaching out to everybody. We have 3 of our allied members that are currently scheduling some. They're kind of working out more of, instead of just doing, a presentation online, kind of more of a virtual meeting, kind of like we're doing now, where we can get question and answer. So we do have 3 people working on it. I believe it's tile, lighting, and roofing will be the 3 that we're working on. But we want to kind of do other things besides just the general CEUs. So if anybody has specific topics you want to hear about, email me so we can kind of hunt around to get presentations, not just CEUs, but we want to keep the chapter going, you know, have something like this every other week, some in the lunchtime, some in the evenings, so that everybody can attend. But we don't want it to just be us talking. We kind of want to have some presenters and some speakers. So if you know of anybody or you want to hear from anybody, shoot me an email and kind of let me know the topics you're looking for so that we can kind of gather all that information and get you the, you know, the things that you want to see.
Okay, TLC can do a presentation. Emily just posted.
Yeah, I saw.
Add to the list. We need a lot of CEUs.
Yep, perfect. I'll reach out to her.
One interesting thing on code that I found out actually last evening. I'm working on a sculpture installation downtown. I'm just facilitating it, but it requires a 5-foot diameter concrete pedestal poured on top of the sidewalk, 2 feet high, and it requires a building permit. The building department is now only accepting electronic submissions, and their backlog right now is 4 weeks.
Wow.
Brandon, this is Roger Andrews with BRC Acoustics. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are registered AIA CES presenters, but not for this region. We're home based in Seattle. However, AIA has opened up because of COVID. Presenters are now authorized to do video presentations when many were not previously.
Yes.
So that's maybe going to open up some more opportunities for allied folks. And I think what Shonda was talking about, the chapter can make any presentation available for CEUs or LUs as long as there are learning objectives approved, is my
Right.
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie posted, and she's got a great idea, seeing if we can reach out to somebody at the building department to discuss the current process with digital submissions. That's a great idea. A lot of us are struggling with it. Some people don't even have their portals set up to do digital submissions, and kind of, there'd be great if we could explain to our clients how to do them as well, or contractors. So I will get on that. I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow, but I will get on that on Monday.
Yeah, they have specific sign and seal
That's right.
technology that they use or will accept.
Yeah, you have to apply for it, and it has a digital seal and authentication of it that comes with it. You apply for it through Florida State.
Marjorie, no, like a digital signature is like a third-party verified, so it's going to be something
Right.
like IdenTrust. You can't just use your Adobe signature. That's not a third-party verified. They won't accept that.
There you go.
Yeah, we've used DocuSign.
Yeah, DocuSign. A lot of people use different ones. We use IdenTrust. But maybe we can look about getting some type of presentation together for that.
Yeah, and you might ask the city what they're accepting, because
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me, but in the email there was some specific.
Yeah, there's a list of them that they're accepting. There's a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a lot of big national vendors that fit the criteria for all of them.
Yeah, that's why we use IdenTrust, because so far it's been accepted everywhere. So it just goes across the board, and then we don't have to keep changing for each county that we do it in.
Shonda, were you having any trouble getting your IdenTrust to work with Bluebeam? Because we were.
No, Tom, no, we didn't have any problems with it. We got it. We actually just used it yesterday. So, because we renewed our certificate. So we've got it straightened out, but there is a trick to it. You may want to get with Tom because I think we figured it out yesterday.
I had a long series of conversations with Bluebeam and could never get it to work. So I just have to sign and seal using Adobe Reader or Adobe Acrobat DC.
Yeah.
And,
DC.
Yeah, we see.
that works fine.
It puts a different signature stamp on it than what we used to put on the other, and we just assumed that was the new signature stamp, but it does seal it.
Yeah, it works. It doesn't look as good, but it works. An extra step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good to see everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop off.
Yep, I'm gonna leave too. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions on the visioning.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Brandon.
Happy 4th of July.
You too.